Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember to like and subscribe for less rats next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Corvo Attano from the Dishonored series. Depending on how you play, Corvo is either a chill guy who wants to rescue his old boss's daughter, or a savage murderer who wants to rescue his old boss's daughter. But like, with murder.
Go to mess with us! Don't you know we're dangerous? We'll kill you! We'll kill you!
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need to be mobile. Climbing up buildings, vents, drain pipes. If you ever take the sidewalk, you've made a mistake. Next, we need a plethora of powers and a really weird spell list for D&D. It works well in the Dishonored games, but it's going to force me to get a little creative here. Finally, we'll make sure that we can play lethally if we want to. No judgment. For stats, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, but make sure your charisma and dexterity are up to snuff. Dexterity will be number 1. You're like a shadow in the dark, wearing a black turtleneck in a room full of drunks wearing blindfolds. I'm saying you're sneaky. Charisma next. The queen really liked you, until, she died. Spoilers, it's literally the first thing that happens in the game. I think it's even on the back of the box. Wisdom after that, your dumb human eyes need help to see in the dark, and some of the rats like you too. Follow that up with strength. Jumping is tied to strength, and so is climbing, though that won't be the case for too long. Constitution is a bit on the lower end. You hide for a reason. You're made of meat, very carvable tender meat, like a short rib or a fillet. I haven't eaten lunch yet, sorry. We're dumping intelligence, which doesn't totally feel right, but we just need everything else more. Corvo is a human, but this would work really well with a Tabaxi. They get dexterity and charisma, they can move extra fast, and climb things with dark vision. But for the canon version, variant human is accurate, so grab the Skulker feat. It lets you hide when you're lightly obscured. When you're hidden, your position isn't revealed by a missed ranged attack, and you don't have disadvantage on perception checks in low light, making you the premier sneaky boy. Bump your dexterity and wisdom with your 2 free points. Grab investigation for your skill of choice to mitigate that low intelligence score, and take the city watch background for insight and athletics proficiency to make sure that you can climb up towers and watch out for bad guys. Kick things off as a rogue. First level rogues can grab 4 skills from the rogue list. Stealth, acrobatics, sleight of hand, and perception are musts for anyone who doesn't want to be seen. You can grab expertise in 2 skills, take stealth for obvious reasons, and investigation. Again, we've got to fix it up due to the dumped intelligence. You also get sneak attack, letting you get a brutal kill on if you're using finesse or a ranged weapon, and have advantage on the attack roll. By meeting these extra requirements, you get to add an extra d6 of damage. Doesn't have to be lethal though, it could be a non-lethal throat slashing. Those exist, right? Second level rogues get cunning action, letting you dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action, and thanks to the new class variants Unearthed Arcana, you can also aim. This lets you give yourself advantage on an attack roll as a bonus action, as long as you don't move in the same turn. Doesn't technically have to be a ranged weapon, but if you've got some time hanging out on a roof, it could be useful. Third level rogues get to choose a roguish archetype, and now seems like as good a time as any to announce the plans for the rest of the build. Arcane Trickster was my first instinct. It's a rogue with spells. That's pretty perfect, right? Unfortunately, there are too many limitations. Your spells can only be enchantment or illusion with a couple exceptions, and only go up to the 4th level. Dominate Person is a requirement for this build, and that's just not going to work because that's a 5th level spell. We could multi-class with Wizard, but then we'd miss out on our rat spells, and you're the king of the rats. Thankfully, all this means is that we can use our rogue subclass for other things, and Thief will help us move up buildings. Second story work lets you climb walls with your regular movement speed, and add your dexterity modifier to a running long jump. So that goes from 12 feet to 15 feet, which is 3 squares on a standard map. You know I love mobility options, so this is very exciting for me. You also get fast hands, letting you use thieves tools as a bonus action to pick a lock or use an object. Your sneak attack also bumps up to 2d6 for more damage. Not to get too much into what could have been, but if you went with Tabaxi, you'd already have a climbing speed, so you could pick up Assassin instead. This would give you advantage on attacks against creatures who haven't acted in initiative, and you'd automatically crit on creatures who are surprised by you. It's pretty good with sneak attack. 4th level rogues get an ability score improvement. More dexterity is pretty important for basically everything you do, so invest in that. Like I said, pretty important. Not much more to say. But now things are going to get a little weird. That sounds a little negative, so let's call it creative. The wizard list doesn't give us everything we need. Weirdly enough, I actually considered druid for a second, but the real solution to this creative spell list is becoming a creative type. First level bards get 1 more skill when they multi-class. Animal handling will make you a friend to the mice. There's bardic inspiration, which lets you give an ally a d6 to add to a d20 roll. You've got an amount of these equal to your charisma modifier per long rest. Cheer on your protege, she's been working hard. You can also grab 2 cantrips. Prestidigitation is like close-up magic, lets you do little things like heat up drinks, cool down drinks. Those are the main goals, basically a magical thermos. Light creates a light if you need a torch. We'll get enhanced eyes soon, but until then you don't have enough runes, so this will help you make your way through all that darkness. For your first level spell, Sleep lets you roll 5d8 and put a number of creatures to sleep in the area with that amount of HP or less, starting with the lowest HP and moving up. It's the closest we can get to a sleep dart, otherwise you could just use non-lethal shots, up to you. Featherfall lets you reduce falling damage for up to 5 creatures as a reaction. If you want to jump off buildings without breaking your legs, that hurts. Actually, I wouldn't know. I've never broken a bone, because I can cast Featherfall in real life. Long Strider increases your movement speed by 10 feet per round for some enhanced mobility. Finally, Heroism gives a creature you touch immunity to frightening and gives them temporary HP equal to your Charisma modifier at the start of each turn for up to a minute depending on your concentration. Your HP isn't great, so this will supplement it a little bit. Second level bards get Song of Rest, giving a d6 to your allies to add to their recovery on short rests. Not really a Corvo thing, at least it doesn't seem like it. Maybe he likes to play ukulele in his downtime, you don't know. You also get Jack of all trades, letting you add half your proficiency bonus to skills you aren't proficient with, which is almost shorter than the list of skills you do have proficiency with. That's never a bad thing. You can also learn another spell. Cure Wounds heals a creature you touch, 1d8 plus your Charisma modifier. If you take any damage, it's nice to heal it off quickly. Third level bards go to College. The College of Lore gives you more spells more quicker. First things first though, you get 3 skills from any list. Medicine, Deception, and Survival are solid picks. You can also use Cutting Words to subtract your bardic inspiration from an enemy's attack roll, ability check, or damage roll within 60 feet of you, making people just a little bit worse whenever they're around you. For this level's spell, Locate Object lets you name an object or a type of object you're familiar with. If it's within 1,000 feet of you, you know where it is and what direction it's moving. Now, the material component for this is just a forked twig, not a disgusting heart with steampunk stuff jammed into it, so whoever gave you that heart was clearly messing with you. Sorry to report that. You also get expertise in 2 more skills. Perception and Sleight of Hand are my next 2 picks. Mixing Bard and Rogue is incredible for role-playing options. 4th level bards get another ability score improvement. Cap off your dexterity to maximize your stealth modifier. Double proficiency plus 5 is very, very good. 5th level bards bump their inspiration die to d8s and you get Font of Inspiration, letting you recover your inspiration die on short rests instead of long rests. You can also learn 3rd level spells, and we skipped the spell from bard level 4, so let's grab 2. Psionic Blast comes from the new Fighter Rogue Wizard Unearthed Arcana, but I'd prefer to call it the one with all the psychic stuff. Psionic Blast is a 3rd level spell, forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 30-foot cone. Failing that, they take 5d8 force damage and are pushed back 20 feet, half damage on their success, and they aren't pushed. Gust of Wind was also considered, but when you brain push people, they get hurt, so this works a little bit better. Slow got added to the bard list in the class variants Unearthed Arcana. It forces a wisdom saving throw on creatures in a 40-foot radius. Failing it, their speed is halved, they have a -2 penalty to their AC and dexterity saves, they can't take reactions and have to choose between taking a bonus action or an action. They can only attack once or cast 1 spell per turn, and if they're casting a spell, you roll a d20. On an 11 or higher, they have to cast that spell next turn. A lot of effects with this one, that's why it's so good. They can re-roll the save on their turns, but hey, it's still a very good spell. 6th level bards get Counter Charm, letting you give your allies advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened with an action by playing a little song. It's not in character, but it's also not a great way to spend your action, so don't worry about it. You also get additional magical secrets, letting you learn 2 spells from any list. Misty Step lets you teleport 30 feet as a bonus action. Your mobility is already great, but teleporting makes it even better. Dark Vision gives a creature 60 feet of dark vision for 8 hours, no concentration required, so you can get your enhanced eyes. Both of these are 2nd level spells, so they shouldn't waste your higher level slots. 7th level bards can learn 4th level spells. Dimension Door is a bigger and longer blink, letting you teleport 500 feet as an action. Use Misty Step if you still want to be active after the teleport, but really you still have all your cunning action options. So you could teleport 500 feet and then still dash 60 more feet if you really want to get out of there. 8th level bards get an ability score improvement, and bumping your charisma will make your spells better. We've got a few saves right now, but are about to get more. It'll be useful to have a high modifier. 9th level bards can learn 5th level spells. Dominate Person forces a wisdom saving throw on a humanoid. Failing that, they follow your general instructions for a minute. You can take direct control of them with your action, and they re-roll the wisdom saving throw if they take damage. Funnily enough, we're doing the possession skills in reverse order. 10th level bards get magical secrets, letting you use 2 spells from any list again, just like the additional magical secrets. Dominate Beast is a 4th level spell. It's like Dominate Person, but for beasts instead of humanoids. Use it on fishes, rats, dogs. Hell, you could use it on a T-Rex if you want it. I don't think there's gonna be a T-Rex in your city anytime soon, but if there is, you're gonna be very glad you have this spell. Conjure Animals is a 3rd level spell that summons beasts, 1 of challenge rating 2 or lower, 2 of challenge rating 1 or lower, 4 of challenge rating 1/2 or lower, or 8 of challenge rating 1/4 or lower. Giant rats are challenge rating 1/4, so you can get 8 big ratty boys. If you can hold your concentration, these rats will hang out for an hour, eating bodies for you, or whatever they want really. Probably eating bodies, let's be real. Rats are nasty. Your Bardic Inspiration die also increases to a D10 at this level, and you can grab expertise with 2 more skills. Acrobatics and Athletics? Sure. Why not? We'll finish off this build with some more rogue levels. 5th level rogues get Uncanny Dodge, letting you reduce damage as a reaction as long as you can see the source of damage. Taking less damage is important when your Constitution modifier is 0. Your sneak attack damage also increases to 3d6. 6th level rogues get expertise in another 2 skills. Really? I don't know. Insight and animal handling maybe? You got doubled proficiency with 8 skills. No wonder the queen liked you so much. 7th level rogues get evasion, letting you take half damage on failed saves and no damage on successful ones. You're incredibly nimble, so obviously you can dive out of the way in time. Your sneak attack damage also increases to 4d6. 8th level rogues get another ability score improvement. Charisma needs to be a priority, otherwise your spells will be easy to beat, and that's no fun. 9th level thief rogues get supreme sneak, giving you advantage on stealth checks if you've only used half your movement. Considering your modifier is already plus 17, that means you'll never get caught. Nice work. Our capstone is the 10th level of rogue with an ability score improvement and capped charisma for maximum saving throws and pretty much guaranteed domination of minds. Always fun. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you've got expertise in 8 skills, proficiency with 11, and jack of all trades for everything else, meaning no negative modifiers to skill checks and some really great role-playing opportunities. You're also a master of espionage with crazy high stealth skills and ways to befuddle your enemies. Finally, you've got mobility options, which are always fun, letting you go wherever you want to, whenever you want to. For weaknesses, you're squishy. With barely over 100 HP, it could be a problem. Dying is bad. You're also spending a spell slot to get dark vision, which isn't ideal for someone who lives in the shadows. Finally, other than dexterity and charisma, your saving throws aren't great, meaning you could get thrown around by a strength save or poisoned with constitution save. But the bad guys have to see you to cast a spell on you, or get very lucky. Get in and get out without being noticed. Just remember, you've been burned before. Getting noticed again wouldn't be ideal. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We normally make 2 videos every week, but next week we have 5 videos loaded with Star Wars goodness to cash in on the release of Rise of Skywalker. So come back Sunday for an evil shopping center.